And to see a fighter from those weight classes get the recognition on that list goes to show you his quality. Next week, live on DAZN, we are at the Dallas Cowboys, where he will attempt to unify the division against Cafu in a very dangerous fight. And when he comes through that, we'll be taking on the man down the right, Fernando Martinez, Puma. Shout out to Louis de Cubas. Me and him have been trying to make this fight for a long time. This is a fight that will really signify greatness in the division. This man to my right, we got great history, and one thing you can't deny is his resume and his achievements. They speak for themselves. You know, he will fight anybody, and it's a great fight against Brian Norman, who's coming off a big win. David Benavidez, the monster, what a fighter. Yarde steps up straight away, he's never ducked anyone. Kovalev in Russia, Benavidez, and now Benavidez. And what a fight for the lightweight division as well. Abdullah Mason, that looks to be one of the top stars in the sport, but Sam Noakes is a tremendous fighter, very dangerous, very heavy-handed. And that's a life-changing opportunity in a division that's opening up very, very quickly. So congratulations to Turki Al-Sheikh. It's going to be a pleasure to be back in Riyadh. It seems like it's been a while now. Let's get tomorrow night out of the way. These ring cards keep on going. Incredible moments for the sport. Good luck to all these great fighters up here today.
All right, thank you, Eddie. Samson Lukowicz, you brought a lot of good fighters to the U.S., worked with a lot of good fighters. Manny Pacquiao, Sergio Martinez. You've got a special one here in David Benavidez. Put together a year that, I mean, we could be talking about his fighter of the year if he comes through this one.
God willing. First of all, I want to say to the Turkish Al-Sheikh for the opportunity. It will be the first time that I'm working with them. I hope so it will not be the last one. To Al Heyman and BBC, and I can tell you, Luis de Cuba Jr., I don't know how he did, but I'm 30 years in this business, and he closed the deal in 48 hours. And signed contract, and POS, and the whole yard. That didn't mean that when promoters want to get together and you want the best fight, you can make it in 48 hours. It can be an example. And with Anthony Yarde, I appreciate to take this fight because Tom and Jerry, that it was the best line that I ever heard in boxing, or one of the best. I don't know who is Tom, if it's the king or Jerry is the king. I don't know, but that one, he didn't want to fight Anthony Yarde. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight Benavidez. He didn't want to fight Bobo Andrade. He didn't want to fight Morel. But Anthony Yarde, he took the fight in less than 48 hours. Thank you very much to everyone, and God bless you.
Thank you, Samson. Carl Beretti, Top Rank. Thanks for dressing up. Jersey vest. You've got a couple of guys on this card. Brian Norman, the new welterweight champion, kind of on a great run. He's taking on Devin Haney. I want to talk about the power being the advantage for Brian Norman. What are the other advantages you think he has?
First of all, thank you to everyone putting the show together, His Excellency, DAZN and Riyadh season, of course. Are we talking shit or are we just being nice?
Do whatever you want, man.
So, is Bill's here? So, he was just honest, about a lot of testing and everything like that. The power is natural, a lot of papers in. I know Devin's always tested negative and, proof of being the pudding. We got a result back on Devin's side that he's tested negative as well for confidence. And we're going to show that, come November 22nd. We talked about this at the office. There you go. And, we talked about what our advantages are and should we take the fight. And, how do you not respect Devin Haney? Look what he did to our featherweight champion, Lomachenko. Incredible. Right down to the end. And the only other advantage I see is, we're not exactly going up against Eddie Futch and George Benton on the other side, but that's okay. We'll be ready for this fight and we'll bring what we have.
Spicier and spicier every time. You're also promoting Abdullah Mason, one of the best young prospects in all of boxing. You guys are known to be excellent matchmakers. He's only had two 10-round fights going to this fight. What gives you the confidence he's ready for this type of opportunity?
Honestly, from a matchmaking point of view, Abdullah's probably never fought anybody like Sam Noakes. But in the same token, Sam Noakes hasn't fought anybody like Abdullah Mason. But you know what? You throw him out there, you see who wins, and you go from there. And if somebody loses, so what? it shouldn't be a death penalty and keep going.
All right. We're going to hear from some of the fighters now, and I want to start at the end with Puma Martinez, 115-pound champion. It's got to be a strange feeling for you, Puma, as I think we have a translator out here somewhere. It's got to be a strange feeling for you to be going into a fight when your opponent has another fight in a couple of weeks. Is it strange at all to be here today?
Tiene que sentirse un poquito raro que tú vas a una pelea donde tu oponente ya tiene una pelea en el calendario. ¿Cómo tú te sientes con esa situación?
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Sí, la verdad que sí, un poco raro, un poco inmediato, pero la verdad que era lo que esperaba toda la gente, lo que quería toda la gente. La verdad que estoy muy agradecido con los promotores, Turki y Visito de Cuba Junior, así que muy contento y la verdad que esperando ese día para poder dar semejante batalla esa, semejante guerra.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, absolutely, but he's very grateful for the opportunity, grateful for all the promoters that put the show together, and he's going to come prepared to do his job.
You're coming off two of the biggest wins of your career against Kazuto Ioka. What do you think you showed in those fights?
Saliendo de dos ganancias, ¿qué tú estás enseñando saliendo de esas dos peleas?
Sí, la verdad que peleé con dos grandes campeones que ya venían hace un montón, que no venían de perder, 10 años seguidos, consecutivos, y la verdad que agarré mucha experiencia, por algo estoy acá, y la verdad que vamos a dejar esa experiencia para el 22 de noviembre para demostrar a toda la gente que somos los mejores.
I fought two great champions, beat them, and on November 22nd, I'm going to show the world that I'm a bigger champion. The main thing that he got out of those fights was his experience, and he's going to show that on November 22nd.
So you get this fight November 22nd. If Bam Rodriguez comes through his fight against Fumalela Kafu next week in Frisco, Texas, do you have a prediction on that fight?
¿Tiene una predicción en la pelea con Bam Rodriguez que va a pelear?
Sí, yo creo que Rodríguez puede ganar por nocaut.
Rodriguez by knockout.
All right, we'll see what happens next week's time. Frisco, Texas, Bam Rodriguez against Fumalela Kafu. Looking forward to that one as well. Let's go down the end over here. Sam Noes, being around you a little bit this week, I don't think there's a happier guy to be in New York City than you.
Obviously, I'm buzzing to be here. It's a great event, but I think my family agree that I ain't always happy. But how can you not be happy with the stadium on? And it's a beautiful city as well.
What has the last couple of months been like for you? You were trying to get a shot at Keyshawn Davis. He winds up having to vacate that title. Now you get Abdullah Mason. How are you feeling about this matchup?
I think obviously we've been trying to get in this position for a little while. I think it's not just crept up out of nowhere. We've been working for it since obviously people going in, keep working on the WBO rankings. But listen, if it's not Keyshawn, it's Abdullah Mason. I think it's a great fight, and as Cole said, I've never been in there with anyone like him, and he's never been in there with anyone like me.
Let's ask about you. Talk about you. 17 wins, 15 coming by way of knockout. How would you describe your style?
Probably rough and ready, to be honest, but listen, I do what I do. You don't look pretty, but it gets the job done.
I know you're just getting into your training for this fight, training camp for this fight. When you look at Abdullah Mason, though, what you've seen from him, what do you see?
I think he's a real nice fella, to be honest with you. Whereas obviously I've seen him and his old man yesterday, but that's how it should be. I've got no problem with Abdullah Mason. We're just two boys trying to do the same thing.
We're looking forward to that fight, Sam. Appreciate it. November 22nd. Abdullah, good after you. You're a young guy, man. 21 years old, just a few years in the game. How are you feeling about getting this world title opportunity?
This is a huge card. You know, this is a big step up in terms of the magnitude of the fight cards that I'm fighting on. Four World Championship fights, so this is something different for me, but it's going to be the same thing. I'm still inside of a square circle, you know, with an opponent that I'm prepared for. So we're going to be in there scrapping with 8-ounce gloves on, and I'm prepared to, you know, come home with that title.
You've been climbing the rankings very quickly. Did you think that this kind of opportunity would come so quickly?
Yeah, I did. I seen it coming, and before the Sam Noes fight was made, I was already ranked number 2 in the WBO, so it would have came earlier, you know, or later. but I'm prepared for it. You know, I started this year out as boxing's, you know, like top prospect in the sport, fighting 8 rounders, and now I'm contending for a world title. So, you know, I'm prepared for it, and I knew I'd be here. You know, as long as I'm staying focused, we're gonna keep coming out the same way.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Carl already. You've only had 2 scheduled 10-round fights. What gives you the confidence that you're ready to potentially go 12 for a world title?
I know what I can do inside the ring, and with the right preparation, y'all will see the same thing time and time again. You know, ever since I turned pro, I've been putting on amazing performances. You know, with each step-up fight, and I feel like this is going to be the same thing. It's no different.
All right, looking forward to that fight. 135-pound title on the line between these two men, November 22nd. I'll go back to the left. Brian Norman,